Warm greetings, everyone. On behalf of W4W Foundation, a think tank instituted as a citizens collective, we welcome you to another session of Wednesdays for Water. The conversation today is on Lake Pond series, session number 11. And the session title we have put as From Engineering to Social-ecological Engineering. The objective of Wednesdays for Water is to engage in conversation with water experts, grassroots practitioners, policymakers, and youth to explore the complex intertwined issues associated with water and the possible solutions. It has expanded from Wednesdays since then to have more activities like Friday Waters and Monday Munching with Women for Water, besides organizing water educational programs through workshops, water talks and walks, seminars, special courses, conference panels, and even festivals in order to continue the water conversation in various possible ways. At W4W, we strongly believe that water conversation is a crucial step towards water conservation. Do visit our website, www.w4w.in. My name is Mansee Bal Bhargava, and I'm going to be the moderator and host of the session from W4W Foundation. And today, in the Lake Pond series, as we have already conducted 10 sessions before this with having renowned people addressing the problems and the solutions for lake restoration, rejuvenation, conservation, management, and different aspects of lake. And in today's session, from engineering to social ecological engineering, I'm really pleased to invite Anand Malligavad as our keynote speaker. And before I invite him to make his presentation, let me just go through a quick biography of his. Just to put on record here, otherwise he's a renowned person by all his merits. And I still remember meeting him in one of his first lake restoration, Kyalan Sahalli, if I have pronounced it rightly, in Bangalore. And that was the time when he was exploring the idea of doing lakes. And now he's on a big mission to restore lakes across the country. So Anand Malligavad is a techie turned lake conservationist. He's also known as the Lake Man of India popularly. He started his journey with lake rejuvenation when he was heading a CSR team at Sansera Foundation, and this is where I met him as well, and working on the revival of lakes. Currently, he is an independent and full-time lake conservationist. His dream is to give the city and the country one of the best wetlands. He is recognized for his work all over Asia. He has won numerous international nominations and awards and is featured by prominent media houses across the world. His path has not been easy, and of course, it is not going to be an easy for an environmentalist, as he had to battle several administrative, social hurdles, and including land mafias and, of course, many encroachments which are always there across the wetlands and lakes, while managing to find funding support for restoring the lakes. More importantly, he had to win over the mindset of the people, which he did, which he is still doing with his skills, ability, and work. And that is why the session today is called From Engineering to Social Engineering or Social Ecological Engineering. Thank you so much, Anand, for joining this session as our speaker and also enhancing this whole scholarship which we are trying to develop at W4W on lakes and pond as a series, because after you we have Nakamura Masahisa from iLake Japan, who is going to do the 12th session with us to endorse the previous sessions because he was instrumental in writing the National Lake Conservation Plan, as you know it very well. So I'm super excited to have you. You know, I have been after you for more than a year to have a session with you. Over to you, and please give your presentation, and then we are going to have some questions and answers from me and then with the participants. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about ecological restoration of water body. And see, these are all the process which we follow, right? So basic process of lake rejuvenation is identification of and geotagging lakes is very important, because across the country, we have some 2.6 or 2.7 crores lakes which are registered. But if you see really unregistered are plenty. You know, like Karnataka itself, we have about 36,000 plus lakes, whereas still more lakes are not even registered. No one knows there is a lake. And second is visit and observe the water body, right? So water quality, flora, fauna, catchment, all these things. And also Third point is engaging the community, especially. So in and around the lake, whoever is there, we should make them a stakeholder. They should be part of it, so that they will also going to protect the lake. Then they take care of lake. Especially in my case, walkers, joggers, senior citizens, all these people we engage, and then we create a basic plan of rejuvenation by doing topo survey, borders, and also contour survey, and creating drawings and etc. of the lake. After that, we pitch for the funds. So crowdfunding also we did few lakes, very few, and highest I did is in CSR. Government grants so far we did not use, right? So just we advise for the government to rejuvenate the water bodies ecologically, naturally. We support them technically, so that way, and also approval from the authority and clearing encroachment. It's very important. Here only most of the people will get struck. Up to 4 point, they will be comfortably, they'll reach up to, maybe they pitch for fund also. Getting the approval from the authority, it's a huge process. Say, for example, from a custodian of the lake, it may be Gram Panchayat, or maybe CMC, TMC, or a municipality, what you can say, that Taluk Panchayat, anything. But from there, it goes to project director, it goes to DC, it goes to then Karnataka Tank Conservation Development Authority, like it's our state, and it goes to committee. There is a civic committee. In a civic committee, we have to present them the entire DPR. We have to explain them our design and calculations, assumptions. After that, they will ask some queries, or they will ask you to do some corrections. After that, they give approval. Then you can start the work. So it's more complicated in especially Karnataka. For other states, like a respective department, like a BBMP, BDA, like Karnataka Forest Department, like that, those departments only go. But here it is uh, there is a authority for this. And after that, meet community and explain for them like a plan of action and execution methodologies, how we do, uh, what we do, all these things. If you explain, it would be better. Of course, after explaining also, you will face a lot of problem. You will talk in challenges and all. So basically, we will going to explain the process. And after that, what happens? Then boundary marking. So we have to mark the boundary of the lake. And there will be a lot of encroachment. There is no doubt. 99.9% of the lakes have been encroached across the country, not only in Bangalore or anything. Everywhere they have encroached. When we are marking boundary, then you will have a lot of challenges also. We'll talk later. And after that, we do de-weeding, so that you will know the area, and you can also able to access. And cleaning debris. In most of the 99% lakes are dumped with lot of debris, building waste, like all biomass and all, they dump into the lake. We have to clean that. And after that, there are three type of lakes. One is dry dead lake, one is partly mixed with sewage, one is complete sewage lakes, right? So when there is a sewage mix, then what we do is we completely remove the sewage, and we completely do desilting, and out of that bund strengthening activities we do, because we don't work on like activated microbes, these that bacteria, bioenzymes and all. We do complete dewatering, complete desilting, and we reach fresh mother earth, right? We try to, how we design, how we conceptualize, I'll show you next slides. And dewatering by most of the lakes, like a Bangalore kind of lakes, we can do by gravity only, by open up channels or waste where certain area, so it will get emptied. Most of around 60-70%, another 40-50% we use pumps to dewater, or we try to dug up and bring a gravity towards the outlet. And desilting, we remove entire sludge. Without removing sludge, you cannot avoid biomass. When there is a sludge, where is a biomass, there is a contamination in the water. however treated water you put into the lake, so it will go back to same stage. Reason is because this is a huge biomass, especially in Bangalore. It starts from 1 meter. There are some lakes which we seen 3.5 meters. Up to that, there we seen the huge sludge in it. You know how it happens? There is a lake bed, natural bed. In that, lot of people, remove soil for the bricks or land filling and all. Means 50 for 30, 40 years before sewage, and those big potholes, they will be filled with full sludge. If you don't remove that entire sludge, then it will not be useful. Okay, so that way. And this whatever silt we get, there are if any industrial waste or arsenic, heavy metals or something like that, if it is there, then see, you can't throw out of the planet, you can't dump somewhere else, right? What we do is we dry up, and we also, when we excavate, we take a fresh soil, and say around 60-70% of the fresh soil, 20-30% of this soil we mix, and we dilute this thing. Otherwise, a lot of people give a suggestion to dump somewhere, take somewhere. You will going to transfer this problem somewhere else, right? Rather than that, we dry up, we mix, and whatever bund we create all around. So bund will do a lot of jobs. I'll show you. It also act as a lot of joints, lot of problem like that. More inlets, more problem. See, plain lake. See, these are all concept. What I'm talking is, these are all for city lakes, like like a rural lakes and all. If there is no any sewage entering, or somebody is not throwing debris and all, but still there is also problem. There is a lot of farmers, they throw a lot of fertilizer, pesticides, and a biomass from the agriculture land. Whatever comes, it is a huge, and it is also create more problem, right? So that way, what we do is like we remove that sludge, we dry up, we mix, make a bunds. Bund will act as a border also. See, if you put a fencing or anything, people will steal it, and it will get you know after some time, this entire fencing will go off. It will get rusted, or somebody will steal it. But if you make a bund around the lake, wherever chances are inlets available, you can put up pipes and take inside, and also create a silt trap before entering into pipe. And after that also, you can have one lagoon, so that floating and other things will be trapped, and the high density will be allowed to settle. Right? And after that, you can see bund strengthening by using dry soil, and compacting every 1 meter if possible, layer wise. Sometimes huge sludge it cannot able to dry also. We do it with a earthmoor chain, like Falkland chain will be there. In the chain itself, we used to compact. And also inlets and outlets reconditioning. So most of the inlets, got choked, or maybe it is filled with a lot of debris, or maybe it is encroached, and they made it very narrow. So we clean them, widen them, deepen them, and also we create a natural slope, so that it will not going to fall down. See, any nala inlet you create, it should not be 90-degree, it should be 45-degree, so that it will not going to fall down. Otherwise, most of the people, they dug up like a 90-degree, it will fall down back. Again, it will go to lake only. And again, choke the nala. And silt traps before any water, like airport concept. Like before you are entering into airport, how they screen everything. Like that, in inlets only, you should screen it. First thing what you get is silt. You will get it, carry a lot of silt when water flow. So you can have a silt trap. After that, the less densities, maybe plastic, thermocol, PET bottles, or any of the biomass leaves or anything, you can also trap that. Then it goes inside. Then there is a lagoon where you can create a more retention period of the water, so that slowly water will get settled, sludge will get settled, and thin water should flow into the lake. Whole idea is, after desilting, doing everything, and there should not be anything, biomass or silt should not go into the main lake, should be in a smaller area. That is the idea. And after that, Wadelia plantation in a slopes, 99% of the lake, 99.999% of the lake, everybody do stone pitching. Actually, stone pitching is required in a river where there is a lot of friction. Stone pitching is required in the where huge waves come and hit, like oceans or anything, right? In a such river, ocean condition. But in a lake, there will not be much, waves are much, there is not soil erosion, right? So What we create is we create a natural slope, and we plant a Vadelia, vetiver, such grasses and other thing. But I tried vetiver grass, but biggest problem is in summer they will get a little dry. That time somebody put a fire, so everything will get burnt. And also maybe saplings, whatever you planted around the lake, they will also get burned. That is why Vadelia is the best. I tried 9 months. It will be green, and it will also have a yellow flower. It attracts a lot of bees and butterflies. But 90% of the people, so many people, they tell Vadelia is non-native and it's very dominant. These, that, and all. But in a lake, I tried last 8 to 9 years. So Vadelia, it's a very good ground coverage, and also it will be very rich green. And since it is a dominant plant, it won't allow any other weeds to grow, so that you will not have dry, small, big, or uneven. It's really green, rich, soothing, and also it controls the soil erosion. If cows, cattle, if they eat also, it's very good for the cows, cattle. So lot of people in my village, all the lakes, they cut this, they take away and they feed the cows. In fact, milk quality, they says it is getting better, and in all the slopes. So afforestation and biofencing, instead of having a one is already burned is there, instead of having metal fencing and all, you can also have bamboo, bougainvillea all around the lake. They act as a biofencing. They also sink carbon. They reduce the noise, right? So they also become best place for the birds nesting, right? So you can do that. And afforestation should be with native fruits, flower-bearing medicinal plants, not any, some foreign plants or ornamental plants, so that they help the ecosystem, right? So one side, Vadelia and such plants, shrubs, herbs, if you plant, they attract a lot of bees, butterflies. Because of bees, butterflies, a lot of insects will come. Also, a lot of birds will come. So, like bringing lost ecosystem back, where they can help us to clean and maintain the lake. And also they were developing aquaculture. So try to put on native fishes, and instead of some fancy fishes, put a native fishes, so that they also aerate the water. They roam, they eat away a lot of things, and they also eat away mosquito larvae. Lot of things they do, and also they will be best economy for the surrounding village. They best rich nutrients food for the surrounding people. And also, wherever sewage is there, it's called natural sewage treatment system. I can show you next by creating lagoons, floating wetlands, right? Cana indica, elephant ear, vetiver, star grass, umbrella grass, lotus, lilies. They are all the best, plants where they can, absorb a lot of excess nutrients from the water. And also, creating a shallow water area to expose the sunlight, so that ultraviolet will be, they convert anaerobic, like conditions, right? And they kill maybe E. coli or some of the bacteria. And Cana indica is the best plant I've seen, where it absorbs highest nutrients. It also survives in any kind of in the elephant ear, vetiver, lotus, and all. And you can see just one of my design concept. This is already implemented. You can see everywhere, you can see lakes are filled with sewage and rainwater. So 9 months, they act as a dry weather flow. They carry a lot of sewage from the various catchment. In fact, in the lot of states, different cities I work, so they have been laid down the trunk lines. They put up STP, everything they invested. But household connection, if you check in any city, any authorities, it is not even more than 30% they're successful. Because again, here people link will come. See, government can spend close together money. They can lay the pipeline, trunk line, they can put a STP, everything. But when household connections, though it is almost failure everywhere. Reason is, like wherever possibility, modern houses, layouts, like other things, there it is easy to, there is a space to have a trunk line connection from your bathroom, toilet, or anything, right? But wherever full, like a closed houses are there, their bathroom will be back, their toilet will be somewhere, and there is no, a chance to get a pipeline, because they continuously constructed such areas. You can't do anything. It will directly, they will leave into stormwater drain, and some stormwater drain, it comes to low-lying areas, the lake. So 100 liter of, like milk, 2 drop of lemon, how it will become paneer. Like that, entire these lakes are getting contaminated because of sewage water. What happens? See, when there is a rainwater, there is a sewage is coming, and also slowly surge will form, right? Because of excess nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, like NPK, all these things, right? And also biomass. What happens? These all algal blooms will come, azolla will come, then water lettuce will come, then final level is your what you can say hyacinth will come. When hyacinth comes, this is a final stage. But these are all the best water plants where they extract our excess nutrients or everything. But problem is that they are so invasive, they cover the surface, and they don't allow ultraviolets to reach. They don't allow sunlight to reach, so that all these aquatic flora, fauna, everything will get damaged, and it will go to eutrophication level. So like that, a lot of problems happens, and finally, slowly, lake will go and dead. And also, it percolate bad quality water, and it spoil the groundwater. And also, when methane gas generates, which is 25 times denser and dangerous than carbon, methane, right? Because of eutrophication, because of anaerobic condition, and all these air also contaminants, groundwater also contaminants, and there will not be aquatic life also, because the invasive plants grows to get degraded, they consume highest dissolved oxygen in the water, so that DO will fall down, like BOD, COD, pH, everything will get imbalanced, right? So for that, what I did is, instead of going against our community, instead of plugging them, instead of making a law and order like policy kind of thing to plug, so it won't work. Go with the flow. You can see my design. You can see this photograph also. There is a full city. There is a full hutments. Earlier, they were directly releasing into the lake. Okay, I did not stop them. If you stop them 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, again they will. Once I move out, then they will again leave. Rather than that, I made one canal here. You can see this entire canal. What I did is, next I'll show you before after picture. You can understand. In this canal, all the people they are allowed to leave their sewage. See, later on, government do trunk connections. It will go to ST panel. I'm very happy. I love it. No problem. But until that, this has to be arrangement has to be done. So after that, what only here rainwater will come from their houses or something, right? Right. But now it is sewage and rainwater. Both are coming because same drain is catering both the thing. And you can see here bigger one canal. It is passing. This is the next area catchment. Like if you see cascading, so entire top area, so entire sewage is coming here. So I am taken here, and here also smoothly we created certain interventions. You can see here. So we bring here slowly, we increase the retention period. You can see floating wetlands. Now we tried our level best to catch the sludge, plastic, and other thing like floating and high density, and excess nutrients will be the hydroponic concept, like. And also we are exposing it to sunlight, and we are trying to keep it open. See, the moment you cover it in a pipeline, if you start diverting, then it loses the contact with soil, loses the contact with plants, it loses the contact with sun, right? It will become more dangerous than what it is right now, right? So that is why we try to keep as natural as possible. And you can see here, this is the lagoon, right? This lagoon is freshwater lagoon where you can do idle immersion, like for a lot of refreshments you can use. And entire here, we have put a one sluice gate, right? So entire this sewage, 9 months it will be keep flowing, getting naturally filtered and keep going. And when the huge rain comes, first 2 3 rains, we try to flush it, so everything will go. Then second rains, we shut off the sluice gate. There is a pipeline here, right? Pipeline laid here. So automatically that pipeline will be like a dry weather flow. There is a fixed level of height sewage is flowing. When rainwater, it will be about 1.5 to 2 feet above, right? So the moment rainwater comes, huge water rise. Then automatically that is a diluted water. It will go to lake, right? So this area will be filled with the rainwater, and rest all will be treated. And also this entire household whatever water comes, so here we have created a retention period and also a lot of things. Then from here it comes to this lagoon. From here it goes to third lagoon. So primary, secondary, tertiary, this is a fourth level. Then this water we use it for all the trees, native plants what we planted, we use it for watering them. So automatically that is the sixth level. Again, it will get naturally. See, soil is, is the best filter media. Soil is the best sponge. The moment all the moisture is there, then plants will absorb excess nutrients and all for their photosynthesis, and water, pure water, will again seep into the lake. Right? This is what the simple concept we do. And also you can see it's not going next, right? Okay. So you can see here just simple design, right? Most of the lakes will have a road. After the road, people will throw garbage, they dump everything, so many things. And also whatever that they carry the goods, whatever left out, biomass, leachate, everything, it flows into the lake. That is why what I did is I raised about 5 feet next to the road. And also the moment you rise, only put a pipe in particular area where, that water will get naturally settled and flow into the lake. And where side I put a bamboo, bougainvillea, such plants, so that people cannot throw garbage, anything into the lake, right? That is a biomass. And after the walking track, lake outside, you can have a slightly bigger plant. Inside, you can have a slightly smaller plant, middle canopy. And also natural slope I given here. And also I planted a lot of vetiver or maybe Vadelia or something like that. You can see bottom. And after that, you can have a shrubs, right? You have a higher canopy, middle canopy, shrubs, and you have a herbs, right? Herbs, shrubs, middle canopy, higher canopy, which can help for ecosystem. Also, it will help for the shade for the walkers and joggers. Also, a lot of bird nesting will happen, right? And also a lot of, fruits, flower bearing, medicinal plants, which we plant with help for the surrounding community also, right? It is also safety of the people. There is no any metal grills or anything to control the people. So these are all the plants. Until you reach water, you will have these all obstacles, so that there will be safety for the people also, right? This is what concept we do. And also it control the soil erosion, you can see, right? And also lake will be like a natural slope. First it start from 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. By the time you go center of the lake, it will be 10, 15 feet. So you, by having a different levels, different sun reachability, you can also have a, different kind of ecosystem, right? So also the more deeper, there is a different life, moderate, deeper, more different life. Then here starting, it will be different life. So like this, you can see same like case study I was talking. It was like this. You can see a lot of plastic, thermocol, industrial waste. See, full of, black and thick water with sludge. And it was not even percolating. In fact, after dewatering of 10 feet, when you removed about 1.5 to 2 meter of silt, there were a dry soil. Only it looks like a filled lake, but bottom there is no percolation. And it won't also properly evaporate because it is so thick. It won't get hot and it won't even evaporate. So it's just overflowing, and it is a mosquito breeding and methane gas generation plant it is, right? So this is from here I have converted this. This is what we can do. And you can see my, that canal will be like this. Whatever desilted soil, I increase the concave, I made it a convex. So from natural ground level, how much over deep you go, it is the water holding. And how much over up you go, it is the convex. It's nothing to do with that. The more height you create, the more visibility of the entire area. And also you will have a best breeze also, right? It passes through the water, right? So like that, you can see bunds this side, all the pipelines I allowed, and they do this. And also this canal you can see, and lagoon you can see, like lagoons looks like this, right? They're all tropozoa type of thing, where lot of retention period is created, 70 hours, 80 hours, 100 hours. Based on the inflow, we created a, like a retention period, so that all the things will get settled. Also exposed to ultraviolet, you can see all the floating wetlands, hydroponics, they also need food. They keep observing your excess nutrients. And you can see just in this picture, this is a primary canal. You can see the water quality. These floatings also will work to control your plastic thermocol PET bottle, because they don't allow you to flow. Because there is a floating, there is a roots, right? It is a barrier like kind of thing, natural barrier. See, the moment plastic comes, it will get stuck here. You can initially, you can easily remove it. right? Secondary, you can see the water quality. Third lagoon, you can see tertiary. This is the fourth level. Fourth level, you can see also azolla in the water, right? Azolla covers in a main lake, then problem for you. Azolla covers in canal, there is no problem for you. Azolla is the best, small azolla is the best for water purification. Also, it can be fed into the cows, right? Dairy farming, it's very good actually. It's got a very good, nutrients in it, right? So you can see this is the power of nature, but it work with a medium, quantity of the, you can say, sewage, like 100 mld, 5 ml, 100, sorry, 100 KLD to up to 1 MLD or 2 MLD, it will work. If it is a 10, 20, 15, 17 and all, then you have to go for STP or something like that. Huge investment, a lot of technical things involved. You can see after desilting of my lake, how I raised natural bund. And in here, I created a canal and there is no inlets here. So entire this water flows like this, it will come back here. And there is a sluice gate here. There is a pipe. So automatically by the time it rotates everywhere, it will naturally lose its all the silt, everything, right? And good water will flow into the lake. Simple. You can see second picture, like a road and elevated bunds. Above that, there is a walking track, natural slope with the shrubs, everything. Then you have a water. And also lot of, lakes, there will be trees or something. Instead of cutting them, like silver oak, acacia, or, juliflora or something like invasive, you can remove it. But all the plants, you can create islands so that it will help for the birds. So this is how you can see third picture, where I separate the sewage water and rainwater. And this is a fourth picture is wildlife lakes. There is no sewage, there is no garbage or anything. There you need not to do all lot of the circus, right? And you don't require this all walking track and all, right? So what I did is simple. I opened up the channel, I cleaned up the channel, and I made it very shallow and natural, right? And I made it on small island for people. They can come here, they can stand here, they can watch flora, fauna, right? Animals or anything, and they can go. But there is no walking track anywhere. This is exclusively made for animals. This side V shape, all elephants, deer, like that. Lot of wildlife, animal comes. So it is this entire area. 80% is for them. 20% is for humans. That's it, right? So you can see well also here. When lake is full, well also will be full. This is the message. You can see this is the one of the lake in Alibag. You can see how we can create a. This is also zero sewage lake. There was no sewage, but big problem was like a silt. Lot of silt used to come, right? So you can see a lot of hyacinth. Completely it is filled. What I did is here. You can see here. First I did a silt trap. You can see one bund. Second I did a silt trap. Then first, second, once it is silt is trapped, then it comes to main lake. You can see, right? And here there is a outlet. After outlet, I made a lagoon. Lot of cows, cattle, they were depending upon this lake, right? So what I did is I given them separate space for drinking, washing them, or where I given in an outlet I am given, so that they will not access the main lake. You can also see here on well, right? This 40 feet well, it was fully completely dead. So again we built back that well. So whatever drinking water or something, like people got some puja or anything, they can do it here. And excess land, what you can see here is it was encroached. You can see here encroached land. We brought back and we created here kids play area, senior citizen area, and open gym. So youth, kids, and senior citizen we created so that they will be in a intact with the lake. You can see on island here are the birds. You can see on lagoon here there is a temple. Lot of people used to put lot of puja, all those items with a plastic cover and all. So that cover, what happens whenever wind flows whichever side, you start moving around. You can't even trap it. So because of that, I created lagoon so that everything will be thrown here. They will get a best of the best quality, and also there is a pipe in the bottom. So lake rises, this will also rise. Lake goes down, it will also go down. But while going back, it will have a net so that it will not carry, so that it is easy to clean here rather than everything, right? So this is what I created. You can see after desilting how lake was within, I think, 16, 17 days, I think 11.5 days, this entire lake got filled up. But one of the best crystal clear water lake in the Alibag, because Alibag is a salt region, right? So a lot of salt water is there. But this is the fresh drinking water lake which we created. And you can see this is a sewage lake, one of the Bingipura lake, right? You can see a lot of like algal blooms, everything. And where it is coming from city. And from city, it was directly mixing into it. What we did is here we created a wetland. We created a area. From here it enters, it goes out, right? So it goes in the Nala, it goes to next lake. Like that, we have done a continuous cascading lakes. Its sewage will be treated in a 15% of the area. 85% of the area is rainwater lake. You can see here picture. Even rainwater also we don't allow directly. You can see lagoon we created. So first rainwater will come here. It will trap everything and again it flow. You can see this round area which is a percolation area it is. See, if you make everything percolative, then summer they will go dry, right? There has to be control of percolation also. You can see here percolation pond. This is also rainwater. So I'm just separating like a gray, like a how wet waste, dry waste people separate. Same way I separate gray water and rainwater. That's it. You can see this picture. It is clearly visible. White color is completely rainwater. You can see here next picture. You can see rainwater also carry silt and other thing, right? You can see fresh water here. You can see complete gray water wetland here. And also all the slopes I talked about Vadelia, you see here, we never maintain, we never de-weed or disturb them. Just it won't allow anything other than grass to grow, right? It controls the soil erosion. You can see the natural slope with a rich green. Whoever come for walking, jogging, a lot of people, they will get refreshed. You can see one more lake. This is right. You can see lotus in lagoons, right? Rich green. So instead of concrete, steel structure, stone, pitching, and a lot of modern material, which has got a shelf life, maybe after a few years, you have to do again redo job. Use a soil, water, botanicals, and afforestation, which can sustain longer time. And also, as I was talking about ridge to river, you can see here, this is the first time I did ridge to river concept, right? So like this, every Bangalore, we have about 20-23 like these streams, right? They all join for Penna River. Some join for Rushbavati, some join for Kumudavati, some join for Suvarnamukhi, like that. So I'm thinking of, saving the Dakshina Pinakini River by rejuvenating all these streams around 150 lakes. So far, I have done about 35 lakes. You can see this is the ridge area, which is Sikaripalya. Then it comes to Margonalli. Then it goes to Tirupalya. Then it goes to Hebgodi. It goes to Kamsandra, Bomsandra, Hilurige. Then it comes to Chandapura. Then it goes to Mutyanallur and Bidirguppe. Right? So here, earlier what was happening? Entire this catchment area sewage were getting stuck. Like 1 month or 2 months, I don't know, whatever inlet it goes. After that, it used to come. By that time, what happens? Too many things, they react each other, then they contaminate each other, then our final product will be different. So now what I did is I started moving continuously, and in a gray water wetland I'm trapping all these things so that sewage will start flowing fast from here to here. Earlier also it was, see, once lake is full, automatically overflow will happen, right? That is a natural phenomena. But earlier also 10 mld was overflowing, now also 10 mld were overflowing. But earlier 10 mld were contaminating everything and it was overflowing. But now directly, when you don't create a stagnant, right? So automatically those will get polished. They will get aerated, and also they mix with, and also they interact with sunlight. So like this I create, and you can see this is my first lake, right? That's Sikaripalya. Okay, Sikaripalya, you can see in this, it is not my first lake. This is in this zone, it is first lake, right? It is almost 48 kilometers it travels. And you can see here, earlier it was fully filled with sewage. You can see here 10 mld sewage enters. You can see full black and thick first. Then there is a meandering type of pipes, right? So automatically water will get naturally settled, purified, go to outlet, right? You can see here, this entire catchment water comes into this, right? So this is a color you can see. This is open to only sky. There is no inlet connection at all, whatever. But somewhere it is becoming failure now because of less rains in Bangalore. Now, like this last year, I did about 5 to 10 lakes, right? But all of them are dry dead now. There were no water because there were no rains, right? So 1 millimeter, 1,000 to 200 millimeters rainfall, and lesser is 700. Like 1,200 only will connect because whatever mouth, that much only. So I was thinking like, let us have a fresh water for our kids, cows, cattle, and for birds and drinking purpose. I created, but it's not working well actually. So in fact, we are trying to again push this overflow rainwater into it now, right? So this is what the separation I did. Just simple. And you can see next lake, it overflows here. You can see here full of sewage, full of hyacinth. See, I converted like this: first lagoon, second lagoon, canal, third lagoon, fourth lagoon, then it goes out. You can see this is a bigger area, is rainwater lake. Even bigger area rainwater lake, there is one catchment here which I brought a rainwater. I am not directly taking. You can see one lagoon here. You can see lagoon water muddy. You can see this water is clear. So this is what lagoons will do, lot of job, right? And these are all the canals which you can see here. See, this picture is taken in the rainy season. That is why this is a muddy color. But otherwise, it is a thick black like this. And one side full native plants are there, water purification. I don't know most of them name, but I heard from the villagers and all, they said it is purifying and surviving the water. I brought and put it. Another side is canna is there. In center, there is a aquatic plants, right? Floating wetlands. You can see next lake. From there, it overflows, it joins here. You can see full of hyacinth bed. This hyacinth bed above this was about 1.5 meter dead floating wetland it is. So above this, people used to go, they used to cut the grass, cows used to go and eat. That was the situation. Below used to be water. So from this, I converted this. From this black water, I converted this. You can see from this to this next lake. From this to this. It's all 78 acres, 40 acres, 34 acres, 32 acres, like that. So from here, you can see these are 28 acres. He converted into this. You can see natural canal, how they looks, right? How floating land looks, right? So also lot of canals, like it is one of the canal in Orissa. These canals also larger area where we can utilize it for online filtration system, online treatment system. You can see this canal I have converted into this by having cabin walls, natural slopes, beautification. So that a lot of people, wherever I get a space, what I do is I take this water, I process, again put it back. Wherever I get space, don't have space, it will get processed here. So like that, you can see nalas also we can convert into beautiful treatment area so that before it gets into lake, they purify for you. So this is what the thing I do. And there are a lot of critics, a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, making people convince. And if the rain don't come, lake don't fill, Anand is problematic. And there are FIR, there are cases. So many things happens. When you are struck, no friction. When you move, then you will have a friction. There is a lot of problem. And now I started with one lake from Kalasnalli, which is a 36-acre lake. Now I could able to do about 35 lakes in Bangalore. So pan India, about 12 states I'm working with, and trying to do something, better for the nature, environment, ecosystem, and trying to, create a best ecosystem in such a way that where, we can bring back, lost habitats, right? So most of the projects I did with the CSR funding support, and like a very less crowdfunding. I don't want to take individuals' money, a lot of commitments they don't want to do. So some governments also I started advising, right? So my dream is like I do lake, you do lake, and do ecologically, naturally, so that we'll bring back our ecosystem. But a lot of people also doubt on our work, like they think why Anand is left job, why he is supposed to do, and he made it as a business, he made it this, that, and all. So a lot of critics will be there, and critics will not be done with the, just general public. They are so-called environmentalist, so-called activist, so-called, so many people, like they're very educated. They know everything. And who sleeps, you can wake them up. But who don't, who act like sleeping, you can't wake them up. Like a lot of critics, huge disturbance, lot of problems. still I'm thinking like until last day, let me do something for the nature, ecosystem, and society. This is what. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anand. And thank you also for the wonderfully laying out the technical way you are dealing with not only different kinds of lakes, but also you diligently shared with us how you deal with, swales, and how you deal with waste on and trying to keep the lake cleaner. And I think most importantly, what struck me is that your concern and care for, biodiversity, both fauna and flora, and importantly, fishes. So there are many people who work on lake where they talk about lake for recreation, and you are among those few people who was talking about lake for lake. That's the difference also, because lake has to survive for people to be recreating on it. And I'm completely aware of your journey from where you started and where you are today. And I'm really happy to see that you are going on with your, I will say, endeavors. And every endeavors involves some struggles. So we have to live with it. We can't really do away with it. And everyone has their own way of doing things. So let me ask you a couple of technical questions, and then we may take up few more things. And one of my question is again, when you talked about desilting and dewatering and bringing the mother nature in its natural form. And we know most of these lakes and also drainage canals. I remember the first conversation we both had at the first lake at Kyalan and Saldi Lake, and you asked me, what should we do after doing the lake? And I said, just clean up the inlet and outlet drainage for the lake to move. And now when I see that you are talking about interconnected lakes to rejuvenate the river and all, it really gives me a full cycle to understand how you have now understood the interconnectedness between the lakes. So when you're talking about desilting and dewatering, and you are also a proponent of using it there only, and you put it very nicely, what is the point of taking the problem of here and putting it somewhere else? You have to resolve it there itself. So when you do these kind of activities, and you have also managed to de-encroach some of the lakes with the local people and all, what kind of environmental support you think that you are getting from the people who are living immediately around it? Do they get an idea what is going on, what Anand is trying to do? How much time in other words, how much time it takes to do the lake, and how much time it takes to convince the people around the lake?
But genuinely, I'm telling most of the people, they are not bothered what is going on. Genuinely, I'm telling. 5-10% people will come, they join us, they ask a lot of questions and so many things. I don't know whether they trust or not as of now.
Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I don't think they have a trust. And also, very 1 or 2% people who believes us, right? Who trust us. And they are the people who is protecting lake so far. Say, for example, each lake, there are around 50-60,000 people are staying. Not even 4 to 5 people are connected to this lake. Right? They throw plastic, garbage, dump everything. And also, they expect me to again maintain it. They expect me to take care of it.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't spend time. They don't want to get into it because they are busy in their life, their jobs, their personal life. So many things are involved. Like lake is not direct benefit to anyone.
That's the biggest problem actually. When I am teaching about lakes, I also realize it. When people ask me, why do we need lake for our everyday life?
It is not direct benefit. See, people, everyone expect what directly I can get, right? So some of the fishermen and all, they sit and they catch the fishes, right? They also
That's
only
not
concentrate
even the
on
main benefit.
their benefit. That's it. So this is the mindset. But for that purpose, what I did is about 35 lakes. I kept some supervisors, right? See, I also do a work with, go with the flow, right? Then your system will work. If you swim against river, then a lot of friction, lot of energy will waste, you will not move. Go with the flow. So that is what it is. I kept people, and a lot of corporates and all, they come for volunteering. There is a team who maintain the volunteering, right? There are some people who are good, right? They complain to us, sir, this is what happening, this is what happening. Some people, they clean it. Some people throw, some people clean. 95% people throw, 5% only will clean. Right?
Huh.
So this is this phenomena, but so far last 7 years, right? Lake is done about 7, 8 years. So as of now, lakes are having good quality of the water. Some lakes, they got debris dumped in. Some lakes, lot of saplings we planted. Somewhere they grown well. Somewhere they are disturbing grazing and they cutting. Some people will cut the trees. I see when we ask them why did you cut, they says there is no answer. They just cut it, right? Some people bring a lot of puja items and all, they throw it. Like that, a lot of things are happening. Does not mean that you can just leave it, right? You should do your
Absolutely.
right. Sustainability means what? Sustainability means first day how it is till after 7 years. You can't expect that your home where you, your husband, your kids stay. First day to last after 5 years, you see your home also. You will have to continuously put effort.
Yes, absolutely. You
Can't
have to
expect
maintain.
freshness everywhere, right? Like that, it is going on. What it is, I built a team where they take care of it. And periodically, we want to clean, we want to maintain. I am not bothered about others, what they think, how they support or not. They come and clean or not. They keep throwing, I keep cleaning. This is what is going on.
So that actually was another question which I had in mind. So let's say you get some funding to develop or restore a lake. I don't like the word develop. Cancel. Restore a lake. And then, as you rightly mentioned, that one thing is restoration, but an important part is that after that, it's like a marriage. Shadi ek din kya maintain baki se. So that way, lake restoration and then maintaining it, how do you plan the funding for it? I mean, because there are many givers for lake restoration, how do you manage the maintenance funding?
Yeah. See, nowadays, last few years, we are trying to tell like sponsors, like CSR sponsor, that 1 to 2 year maintenance, right? We take care of lake. So we allocated certain fund. We got some fund, so we have to maintain it. But not that big money. They give very nominal money, right? So some of the things which we get a small admin fees, right? Small admin fees I charge. Generally, people charge up to government as per norms, 15% you can charge. By 90% of the corporates, I charge 5%. Whatever 5% comes, we pay the supervisor salary, cleaning labor, maintaining after 3 years, post 3 years. Some of the good corporates, they given me full responsibility. 3 years you maintain. After 3 years, again we will support you. Some of the few people says no, lake rejuvenation we have done enough. See, my baby, I put effort. Lot of so much of time into it, clearing encroachment, fighting, convincing. The lake is not easy. I am telling you, it's very tricky.
Completely understand.
Authorities, there is no much support from authorities and all. No, they don't even bother. Because
And there's a lot of politics also around it. The moment there are
huge politics
land, there is land,
politics between politicians, politics between people also.
people as well.
People also do a lot of politics, right? So many things involved. See, actually, most of the time I feel like let's not get into it, forget it. Let me stop doing lake. Most of the time I think, but again I am thinking like, okay,
You get up next morning and chalo lake karte hain.
एक बार देखते हैं बोल के. So let's see how many years it will go. But a lot of problems.
I can completely understand, because I mean, when I'm teaching about lakes across the country, I talk about a lake lost is a land gain, and most of the people have been looking at lake as a piece of land. The water is not valued, the fishes, the birds are not valued. And in that way, you have really talked about how to deal with edges, how to keep a screening between the public life or the road and between the lake and all. You have tried your best to, let's
every
say,
day learning.
eco-fencing.
I have done about 100 plus lakes. Does not mean that I learned. See, each area, topography, catchment, shape, right? And also mindset of the people around, kind of habitat you have, industry or, tech companies or any builders or a villa or village. It matters. Every time you have to have a continuous process, it is actually. And
So,
also, big
go ahead.
blame game from the people. If see the last year, January to June, I rejuvenated about 15, 17 lakes. So it did not come. When I dewatered, desilted, I did not know that rain will not come, right?
Of course. People want results. The thing is, people want results.
The lakes were dry, borewell got dried up everywhere. There were a lot of problems in Bangalore. But wherever I did lakes, I had a big critics. I had a big problems, legal issues. A lot of media, they written negative about me. Right? Sometimes it hurts a lot. You put a lot of effort. You work on, you live your life and do this. But end of the day, when people do cheap critics, you will feel bad. But
Of
still,
course.
it demotivates. Again, when I go fill lake, it motivates me.
Of course. But I think there is another thing which we all have to come to an understanding is that when we imagine a lake, we always imagine it with filled of water. And scientifically, what I have learned so far is that it's okay to have a lake for some part of the year. It is okay to have no water and less water. Somehow, this perception is not there in people. And when you talked about desilting and dewatering, and of course, then having the natural water into it, I just wish to understand from you, how do you decide about the depth of the desilting? You did mention about 1 meter to 3 meters and all, and there is no thumb rule. You have to go by the topography as you mentioned. But still, having that enormous amount of soil, having that enormous amount of waste around, and then you have those trenches which you are creating, which you call, as
Canals,
your
canals in the.
canals and constructed wetlands. And best part is that you are not putting stone and concrete in your lakes, and that's the best thing. And I do recall in our last, when I was conducting a course and you were one of our special guests, when you talked about a project that takes 15 crores in the government project, it happens in your case in less than 120, 1/20th or 1/10th of the price. So how are you deciding when you see a lake? I would like to imagine a situation. Anand is standing in front of a lake. Let's say one of the types you have mentioned, 3 types. How much time it takes you to visualize what needs to be done, and how do you go about it?
See, basically now last 8-9 years time, no, quite
Hmm.
good time, like thousands of lake I seen, right? The moment I go to lake, right, the kind of water quality, the kind of that water weed is grown,
Hmm.
right, and the kind of transparency, the kind of smell, kind of inlets, it take hardly about 1 hour, 1.5 hour to reimagine that what can,
Imagine. Hmm.
right? That is possible.
Hmm.
Only thing, how much silt is inside, no one knows.
That's
No one knows. How much water is deeper, no one knows. Generally, we check with some small boat or anything. After that, until dewatering happens, we will not know how much desilting should happen. But generally, when we start, once dewatering done, we will go for pits in every corner of the lake. We see
Test.
where is the Mother Earth, fresh soil. You will easily know Mother Earth because
Yes.
the filled up earth will have a biomass,
Hmm.
plastic, modern material, or human waste or anything, right? When fresh soil is there, fresh Mother Earth, there you will not find anything, right? So until fresh soil, we reach generally, right? If you feel like in the soil also, see when you cut a soil like cake, you will know which is
The
slur,
layer.
slurry, which is a sludge, everything you will know, which is a fresh soil, and how much it is penetrated also you will know. So penetration level we remove it.
Okay. So many a times I receive call. I mean, I personally have a very different way of looking at lakes. In last 10 years, the maximum number of calls I have received from villagers and people who have been concerned about lakes is ki, ma'am, desilting ke baad ab pani is not stopping in the lake. We have faster disappearance of water, basically percolation of water, than in our olden time when there was some amount of silt. What is your experience on this? Because
My
the
experience is
natural
like
silt is good.
California,
Huh,
where you
huh,
came, right? Last
hmm,
7 years,
huh,
it was full of water.
hmm,
Last year there were no rains, right?
hmm,
Full of drought. Now
hmm.
also you can go and check in California, 8 to 10 feet water is there, right?
Wow. Hmm,
Depending upon soil,
hmm,
depending upon the kind of fracture you have
hmm,
in.
hmm.
Got it. No, it is depending upon lake
Yes.
to lake,
Hmm, hmm,
right? Some lake, like Margon Nadi Lake, we had about 11 feet of water.
hmm,
But this rain season, they went full dry, complete. And Kalasanalli is full, Bingipura is full, Nanjapura is went up 50%. Like it is depending upon soil.
Upon the soil as well.
Soil
And
and
ironically, we don't see this relationship between soil and water so intricately in all. I wish to ask my last question and then open it for people. When you talk about the creating these canals and actually trapping the waste to come into the lake, I mean, now it's nearly 10 years for you. Are you doing some additional effort to then, desilt those traps, because there will be then silting in those around? And what is your plan for that?
But one thing, last 4 years, I started working with sewage, right? I
Yes.
worked with Dead Lake.
The freshwater lakes are different than sewage.
I work with freshwater lake and created silt trap and all, but silt traps are not filled. I think about 500 mm, 600 mm, somewhere 1 meter, they trap. There is a silt. Like Kalasanalli, there are 20 silt traps. I can find about 800 mm now, roughly. Right? But sewage, first lake I did is Konsandra. And second I did is Devsandra. Third I did is Margonalli. Fourth I did is Bingipura. So far, there is no silt because there is also consumption. There is also consumers there, right?
Yes.
So they also keep consuming. And also, since there is no one trap, there is a plenty of traps, right? First, we'll have about 100 kg. Second, we'll have 50. Third, we'll have 25. Fourth, we'll have 10, right? First, it's not even filled. But I'm thinking like another 5-6 years, roughly. I need not to do anything. So after that,
it will be natural.
naturally, there is a consumer, there is a thing happening. So after that, we will see if required only first, second, and third. 3 lagoons, if you desilt, it is more than enough.
And I think because you're having these canals, desilting of lake will not be required so frequently.
Lifetime, I can give assurance that 85% or 90% of the lake which I created is a rainwater lake. Next hundreds of years, you need not to worry about it.
Absolutely.
Neither nutrients go, neither sewage water will go, neither sludge will form. Like Margondanalli, like last 3 years, right? So it was completely dried up. I seen the bed as clear soil. There was no black stink in it.
Even when I saw Kalansalli with you, it was just pure water. And you remember I was saying that I wish I could swim in that water. And
now also people are swimming.
Yes. So that was a very interesting. So let me just put up a last question on a very fun mode. You can just answer in a little note, and invite if anyone would like to ask or interact with Anand. So if I have to put a choice for two boys, bad boys, domestic sewage and industrial sewage, who is a bigger bad boy than both are bad boys, but then who is worse?
Of course, industrial reason is domestic, no human, all those things naturally we can treat. There is no issue in it.
Seriously? But yes, industrial people are not treating their own water before they putting into the lake.
Like human waste, sewage, food waste, oil, grains, and all. Dottoguru, if you come sometime next time.
Coming soon, huh? So I'll go with you.
Have a look at complete domestic. We are treating the bottles you've seen. First picture.
Yes, I do remember.
And when you come, we will pick the sample in front of you. You can imagine, you can match the picture and what is physically. That is easy. But one more I showed, I did it is coming from upper catchment. It is having chemical. See, chemical means there is no limit for it.
So we are now also having emerging pollutants, huh?
No, nothing will going to work with it. Reason is, like if you see Sikaripalya, I told you 48 kilometers, that is complete till Margonalli, till Tirupalya, it is sewage only. So when Margonalli outlet, when you come next time, again we will show you, see the clear water. After Margonalli, Tirupalya onwards industry start. After that, if you see, it is a black, crude, thick oil, where even floating wetlands, like Cana Indica plant is a best survival plant in any kind of sewage, right? Any kind of water. So, like sewage water, it grows, every 2 months about 4 feet. But in this black water, it is not even growing 1 inch.
Wow.
Plants won't grow. There will
So
not be
these
life.
industries have to be put CETP. Are you filing some complaints about these wastewater near the industries? I mean, I can go on and asking questions to you,
Every
Anand.
pollution control board, people, everyone knows who is polluting.
Hmm.
Even I tweeted, you can go to my tweet. You see,
Yes, I do
able to,
follow.
I can able to clean, I can able to save 85% of the water. But where this grey water wetland, which
Hmm.
sewage is coming, who will do it? Because
And who is going to do after cleaning? One time cleaning kar denge. After that, somebody has to take responsibility.
even it will
But
eat away soil, it will eat
hmm,
away soil, right?
hmm,
So if you do desilting and run a sewage, and
hmm,
after 6 months you stop it, just check it after 1 year,
hmm, hmm,
1 inch below there will be fresh soil.
hmm,
When this effluent flows, no, it will
hmm.
go about 1 to 2 feet full grease.
Underneath. Hmm,
It will become grease. It will eat
hmm,
away.
hmm.
So pollution from the industries, and
Is
they
a-
talk about a zero discharge and all. It's all, I
hmm,
don't believe in it, because
hmm,
the
hmm, hmm.
effect of their compound,
Ideally, they should have circularity in their industries, most of them, as per the law of the land. But
all
hmm,
like a lockdown time, I seen result when
hmm,
industries were fully closed.
yes.
Dormant were very high because people
Uh,
used to use more water, more food,
hmm.
more flushings and all, right. That time lakes were completely changed. They were
Yes, very
good.
clean. Ganga was clean, yeah. So we can
Yeah.
imagine.
Again, when industry started, it's gone. I'm not against industry, against business, e-commerce, or anything development, but we have to work sustainably. We have to be careful
Absolutely, absolutely.
because it is going to kill us. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take question if there is any, and I can see Suresh, and I would really request you to pose your question or comment to Anand. Thank you so much for joining, Suresh.
Hi, Mansi.
Hi.
Anand.
Hi, Suresh sir. How are you? I know Suresh Rohilla, right?
Yes.
I can
Go
remember
Can
your
you hear
name,
me?
surname very well.
ahead, Suresh.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
you are
sir.
audible.
Good.
If there are any question, you may put it in the chat box or just simply
Hello.
raise your hand. Yes, Suresh, you are
Can you
audible.
hear
Go ahead
me?
and visible.
Yes, we are
Visible
able.
and audible.
Yeah. I just wanted to, yeah. Anand, first of all, good presentation. I've not met you in person, but I've heard a lot about your work. So, first of all, congratulations to what work you do, and appreciate. I'm on and off in your presentation. Today, I had certainly time, and I took time to attend your presentation. And Mansi, thanks for organizing this.
Thank you.
The point what I wanted to say is I have an in principle difference of opinion on the approach what you follow, and I wanted to know what you think. One is that lake what you say reflects the character of the catchment, and are you doing lake means water storage rejuvenation or lake without catchment is not a lake. So the point is that it's a storage. And that's first thing. Second thing is you have used in your title social engineering. So
That-
at what stage people get involved, and this is for people by the people. Otherwise, it seems to me it's like a contractor's approach. There's a institution giving your work. You are doing as a contractor. There's a maintenance cost, but what is
Okay.
I think
affordable is
There are
sustainable,
there are
and
four type
where
of.
people get involved and they own that is sustainable. Other social engineering it is, and I find that hydraulics are a missing thing. Your experience has been more in southern lakes maybe, but if you look at the literal meaning of lakes necessarily do not have to have the same level of water every all months of the year. So lakes do go dry, like if you come to northern India, because we are monsoon country. So to me, it looks like we are creating a kind of a nature-based sewage treatment systems in the name of engineering with lakes. So I know I'm provoking you. I'm asking you
Nothing. This is all common
like
daily.
science and engineering. There are two things. So this
This
is
is
the
all
science which
common
I'm
for.
trying to say. So
Let me
Mansi, I
just
hope
put
I
a
don't offend
disclaimer.
your speech.
Let me just put a disclaimer about the title. The title was decided by me because I have seen when Anand was born as an environmentalist, and I have seen his journey from his first lake till date, and I'm following him very diligently as a young man, really enthusiastic. So the title is on me. So that's why the title is like this, because he was a hardcore techie person and then he moved to this path. Anand,
Wow.
over to you. Yeah.
Suresh
Because
sir.
I remember there was one point time, my first. Let me complete one example. I'll tell you. When I was working in 30 years ago,
Hmm.
let me complete one example. 30 years ago, I know that in New Delhi and surrounding areas, there were people filling up the lakes, and then in the budget, they were putting up proposal for making 200 more lakes. So the point was, it was a political economy of lake rejuvenation. Okay, so just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
So, so
Anand.
one side you are filling, other side you are emptying.
Yeah. So your first question is that I am not taking a hydrology in consideration. I am not taking catchment into consideration, and I am not doing it ecologically, naturally. And also, lake in the rainy season it should go up, and winter it should fall down. Summer it should go dry. This is the common fin of the lake. That is what your first question, right? Or can you ask again? Repeat shortcut question.
Yeah, because it depends upon the catchment. Like
Yeah.
what to what reference condition are you rejuvenating or referencing? So
Yes.
I don't have a reference condition. Lake used to be something in contours in historical maps. You are
Yeah.
restoring a tank, a man-made tank. It is to me. It looks like a man-made tank or a reservoir.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'll going to give a answer. There are four type of lakes.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Aram
Looking
se
forward to
comfortably we ask. I love to answer. Okay. Need not to think that okay, Anand will feel bad and all. No, I'll
that.
tell you fact. You should know that also because since long time, I think I remember your name means you are from last 10 years with me. When I don't convey you, when I don't convince you, then it's waste of time, and energy. First thing is what is lake, right? What is lake is earlier lake was from ridge to cascading to river, right? So there were a natural hydrology who people are not created. So
Hmm.
based on the catchment of the area, quantum of the rain, it falls, right? Entire water used to come inside the lake. Lake supposed to be natural slope like this, right? So it's a kind of valley. It was earlier, right? Valley, and our ancestor put a bund for it, right? Bund for it, and there is a weirs, maybe one, two, or maybe there is a sluice gate where people used to do, like a agriculture below the catchment, right? So everywhere water used to come into the lake through where it used to overflow, and there were a 50% dead load, 50% you can use it for irrigation. None of the lakes are feasible to irrigate 100% because that was the situation, right? That time what happened? We used to get a even rains, right? 54 to 62 rains, up to 1200 millimeters highest in the last 100 years record, and lowest is 700 millimeters. So entire catchment area water used to fall, it used to flow, and while flowing itself, there is a lot of interventions where farmer biomass, silt, everything will be trapped naturally, and water used to come to the lake. And in a rainy season, sometime it overflows, sometime it 70%, 60%. Then there is a natural aquatic life like fishes, frogs, and everything were there. And after that, like that, people use it for irrigation. Again, they were percolating it. In fact, right? It was the best area to percolate as a agriculture, maybe some evaporation, right? Then 50% dead load. Sometimes they used to
Yeah.
go right. This was the phenomena. Here, you have any doubt, sir? Or it is I am telling correctly, or you want to correct me? Suresh, sir, you can able to hear me?
Yes, you may continue your response, Anand. Yeah.
No, I want to hear from you. This is my
Okay, because
understanding is
I think
correct or not?
There is a
This is your
you're
understanding also.
breaking
Or
somewhere.
you want to add some more points because this is an educational video. Let people have a more information from a various. See, I never climbed anywhere. I'm an expert, and I cannot climb in full life like expert. Reason is
No, no.
nobody can become expert. So I can also learn from a lot of nature, people like you, studying something, and my mistakes, my errors. I'm learning from that. So what I told is it, or you want to add two more points?
No. I am an active member of this Wednesdays for Water, and our purpose is to sensitize people and it's a
No,
learning
question
webinar.
is not
And
that. What I told, is it is it right or not? Whatever you are, is it right or not?
So we are using the English term lake, but in Hindi the word is jheel, and jheel means a low-lying area, depression. Okay, uh,
Okay.
not have the
For
sluice
the
gate or
ecosystem, right?
the dikes which you are saying. That is only the engineering solution. It need not have that. That's not a compulsory thing. That's where the engineers have started saying that, water flooding and all those. Now the point is the water which you are saying, which comes to the lake. In fact, now it comes with more intensity because the catchment has been concretized.
No, no, no.
In fact,
We will
much
not
more
jump into
quantum of
that.
water comes.
That
So if
subject
you
I
are
will go next.
restoring only,
Suresh sir, I'll go to next. That's jumping. But earlier, before city, before anything, it was a agriculture land. There were Cholas built 1,850 lakes, each cascading lakes, Raj Nala, Rani Nala. All this was the system, right? So you are okay with that? What I understood? Okay.
no,
Now
no,
we
you
to city.
there's lakes in south, and every lake is different lake. So please
Yeah,
understand,
he's
lakes of
talking
south
about
have a
Bangalore,
different
the
temperature.
I'm
Bangalore's
talking about
lake.
Bangalore lakes. I'm talking Bangalore lakes.
Yeah. So
Okay. There is
then the specification should be there in the beginning that you are talking about lakes which are located on Deccan Plateau or rocky area where the soil and other things are very different. So you have to talk about hydrogeology to explain a lake before
no,
we
no,
talk
I'm
about
a mechanical
rejuvenation.
engineer,
It
sir. I'm not any
yeah.
expert of environment, PhD or anything. I don't know much about it. I'm a simple mechanical engineer trying to do something for the city lakes. What I
Mm,
am going to do, I'll tell you next. Right? So I'm not here a lecturer. For that, there is a book. So hydrology, lot of things. If they can do PhD in it.
mm, mm,
That is not my subject. What I am practicing, I'm trying to tell here. What I
Sure.
know, little bit knowledge, very little knowledge I have,
mm,
trying to express that. That's it. Right? How you have to tell, how you have to teach, what formula and all. That for that there is a institutions, colleges and all where people can go
mm,
and
mm,
learn.
mm,
There is
And
no.
we use your example,
I also don't know.
examples like
I also
yours,
don't
right?
know much. Right? Okay, that is one. So all these habitats become now city lakes. Like there were a catchment area
mm,
which supposed to be agriculture land, right? Where lot of water used to percolate, runoff used to come to the lake. But now they all become concrete
mm,
junction, and they made a layouts, they made a canals,
mm,
right? In the canal, 9 months they flow
mm,
sewage water, they release. Another 3 months, sewage and rainwater they carry, actually. And they come and join for the inlet or Rajnala, right? So what happens? Entire 9 months, this entire sewage is coming and coming to this lake, and they are storing. And a lot of the reaction in the lake itself, and they contaminate the ground. They also generate the methane gas, and it become complete septic tank. Then again, a certain full tank level is there. After that, that is keep overflowing. Then it goes to nala. Then it goes to one by one lake. Then it goes to river. This is what is happening. What I am trying to do is simple thing is I am
mm.
trying. Yes,
No problem. I think you are saying correct. I have walked up in Bangalore. I know about the lakes and the pristine lake and all those things. I have seen the lakes from my childhood in '86.
sir.
What you are telling is I have seen the
Sir. Yeah,
catchments capturing the by the urban development. I
sir.
have no doubting about that. So
So now what I am doing is I'm doing simple thing like one lake I'm taking. Okay. I also tried with lot of people like activated microbes, so these that this Picasso ball, that ball, this ball, all ball I tried. So it
mm,
did not work.
mm,
I tried myself, honestly.
mm,
Also, what I decided is why it's not working is one is daily sewage is entering, which is carrying a lot of nutrients, NPK, sulfur, so much of content. Also, there is a lot of sludge which is formed 1 meter, 1.5 meter. And also in most
mm,
of the lakes, sir, about before sewage getting into lake, the time when development is taken place, they disturb the mother earth, lake bed, natural lake bed. They dug up, they taken lot of soil, variety of soil. There is a
mm,
red soil, they used it for gardening, like gravel, they used it for road, something like that fill up. They made it a huge potholes inside the lake, sir. 2 meters, 3 meters, 3.5 meters somewhere. And over a period of time, when rainwater stopped, when sewage started coming with carrying sludge, sir, entire these things are got filled up, and it also stopped percolation, and also it stopped evaporation. In fact, so thick water, right? What I do is I remove that entire sewage, I remove entire sludge, because that excess nutrient, if it is there in the sludge also, if you put a aquaguard water also or any purified RO water also, again it will go back to same stage, because there is a nutrients is there, means automatically algal blooms will come, azolla will come, water lettuce will come, and then hyacinth will come, right? So what I did is I completely clean everything, and 85% of the area I'm trying to create a lake area, sir. That I'm trying to put a best quality of the rainwater into it. And 15% of the area, I'm trying to make lagoons, canals, and all. And whatever sewage is coming, I'm trying to tap plastic, thermocol, PET bottles, less density. I'm trying to give some retention period to get the sludge acquired. And also, I put a lot of hydroponics plants so that excess nutrients will be absorbed. Then it goes to next. Like cascading, if you do continuously, sir, each lake, there is a huge retention period reaction also there when chemical is there. When 85% of the area only you are catching the rainwater, there is no job of it. It circulate good water, it also evaporate, microclimate, everything will be good. So this grey water, rich to river with Goskar, when you make it stagnant, there will be more problem. When you make it continuously flow by capturing decentralized way, so before it reach any river, it will have a best kind of, like a water. And also, as you said, right question is that if that catchment is not having any of the rainwater, so there I am facing problems. Like 12 lakes, I am facing a problem of there is no any rainwater. There is a full of sewage only. Where like villaments, sir, apartments or something like that, big builders, whoever they built beautiful STPs. They use their water, excess water, they treated water, they leave, or some amount without treating also they leave. But wherever villages are involved, wherever, unorganized hutments are there, sir, there is no STP, there is no connection, nothing. They directly flowing it into the Nala. So directly they are joining into the lake. And such places, I'm facing huge problem to catch the rainwater. Now I am compromising myself. What I am doing is I am putting up pipes in a different levels, right? Because this is carrying same sewage water, it is carrying rainwater. So dry weather flow, wet weather flow. So I'm trying to put a top pipe. I'm trying to put a sluice gate. So first I want to flush all the sewage or whatever. Natural flushing system is there in canal. You also know. So river also do, everything will do. Same thing. But flushing happens, sir. After that, I'm trying to shut up the sluice gate, sir. I'm trying to take this entire rainwater into the lake. Now I started compromising some of the lakes, which I'm facing huge problem. As you are aware, a fire is happened, government put case on me, people are against me, so many things you are well aware. I know, right? So such area, but Kalisnalli, where Madam came, Mansi Madam, Nanjapura, Wabsandra, Gavi, Bingipura, all these beautiful lakes are having at least 50% catchment rainwater, which it is filling my lake. As you said rightly, sir, any lake is there, 5 times more area
No,
should
no.
be there to fill up the water, right? 5 times area, like 10 acres lake is there, you should have a 50 acres of catchment, right? Wherever I got, I'm connected, they are good. But everywhere all around, when there is a sewage, there I am facing problem, and I can't put STP because as per the Supreme Court and High Court order, sir, as per NGT, in the buffer zone also you can't put STP in lake.
Yeah, I think we'll take this conversation outside
No,
the
no.
session
So why
because
don't we have a discussion separately?
Anand, that's
yes.
fantastic. I think your responses
So
are fantastic.
yeah, I think the
For
major
discussion, sir.
difference which Suresh you
Because
asked.
Mansi ji is
So, no,
recording.
the last question was on the people's public involvement, if you want to do
Yes.
anything.
So actually, also I have a similar question as Suresh you have because
Public involvement and public and social
yeah,
engineering
I
part,
think
if
there's
you
a
can
time
Public, I'll
lag
tell
with
you.
later on
Public,
discuss
I'll
or
tell
whatever,
you.
because
Public, I'll tell you and close it. Right? See,
there is a time lag with Suresh, but you heard the question. Go ahead, Anand.
2 minutes, I'll just
Yeah,
tell.
sure. Take your time. No problem.
First 2, 3 years, I put my full time to engage people,
Ah,
volunteers, involving people, training them, did a lot of workshops, webinars, so many things. You will not believe, Suresh sir, don't feel bad. I did not get 1 or 2 people. One thing.
No, I'm not complaining about that. So thank you very much. But the only thing is, I'm not aware, as you are saying that people are against you and other things are happening. To overcome these things is to involve the people from the early stages and meet all the stakeholders of Lake, such that we can nullify and neutralize all those
That's
things.
the reason we have this
To
title.
make them woke up. Who
Now you
actually
know the
sleeping,
meaning
you
of the
can't.
title. Okay.
And I don't stay in
Call me
India
after this
nowadays,
conversation.
so but I'm not aware of these things. So you only told me. I thought if you co-produce a knowledge and co-produce project, then that's much more better sustainable rather than getting into legal conflicts. What is right? What is wrong? Certainly, you engage hydrologist also. I usually have a big conflict on that when we say my lake or your lake. It's basically everybody's lake. So it's not an institution, Bangalore Water Supply Storage Board's lake or the contractor's lake. It is it's a citizen's public good, frankly, I would say. So anybody who gets the right to play with the lake owns a responsibility that is towards public. And it has to be co-produced as a fruitful resource with public and for public. You can't just say that we will restrict it to webinar. No, webinar is the last stage. It should be at every stage, from planning that what you want to do, why you want to touch the bottom, why you want to make these plants, why do you want to make dikes, why do you want to do that. I think that was my point. I'll stop here, Mansee, and I would say that need not respond. I don't need a response. But these are some things which I say that otherwise we are co-producing only a contractor and a institution approach. People are not here in
also
this.
good contractor is important.
It's an engineering approach of a contractor and institution.
PPMP also having a contractor. And
No, the point is, it's not. Water body is a natural good.
Yeah, I think his point talking about my lake was more on a passionate ground than on a
my lake only. See, if Suresh sir says it's all lake, I am not locking and keeping, and I am not collecting any revenue. It is people lake only. You come and own it. It is your lake.
It's everybody's lake. Rightly mentioned, it is my lake and our lake.
I'm not building any houses there, or I'm not generating result or anything. My lake, I'm telling, when you feel.
No, I fully understand.
Let's keep it here, and I want to ask on a lighter note, Anand, because you are now working across the country, and it's a very simple governance question. It's like a tick mark, Which state you find doing lake restoration from the governance point of view, paperwork point of view?
Odisha.
Odisha. Okay, you already named it. It was a quiz, so you named it. Thank you so much, Anand. Thanks a lot for this insightful session. I know when people are into the actions, there are different set of people. The proponents of actions are different, and the proponents of knowledge are different. And it's up to us. How do we take these different ways of doing things and different ways of thinking about doing things together? And that's the whole purpose of doing Wednesdays for Water, to bring these hard science, bring these local science, bring these local ways of doing things into a scientific format, or at least try to understand why people look at water in different ways, and how people, they are in their own little ways, are trying to make this world a better place, and in this case, at least make these lakes a better place than they are in actual shape. And in the process, there are, of course, again, new challenges which emerge, because once we are solving one problem, we knowingly or unknowingly get into another set of problems which are social, which are ecological, and we can't do much about it. But for the time being, I have to really declare it as a closure of the day. And I really wish to thank all of you for engaging in this conversation and also coming here. And we will look forward to continuing with our Wednesdays for Water session, which is a flagship program. And soon we are also reaching 300 sessions as our water conversations, and one of the leading water conversation and longest water conversation, to be honest. Next Wednesdays for Water, we will continue with our nature-based solution series, and it's part 2 of that series, and that's on 3rd of July. And on this Monday, we are continuing with our Monday Munching with Women for Water. And we have a very important guest from abroad who is going to soon join our Wiki Water Resource Council. She's ex-Prime Minister from Slovenia. And she's going to talk about what it is to be a woman in the water sector, in the ecology sector. So do keep tuning us with us through social media, through our website, www.w4.in. And then we continue our water conversations, as in here, we strongly believe that water conversations are extremely crucial for water conservation. And you saw one of the examples today, and we will continue with this kind of water workers. As I say, I prefer to say water workers, don't mind, Anand. And thank you so much, Anand, for showing your passion. Things may be right or wrong. You may do certain steps right. You may do certain steps wrong, knowingly, unknowingly. But somewhere the intent is important, and there is an intent in you that you wish to do something for the lakes. And I think that is most important. And when, as I said, I have seen you from day one, when you were born as an environmentalist. I have no doubts on your intent, and you are also saying on every platform everywhere that you are willing to learn. And I think that is also very important. Technologies are there, methods are there, approaches are there, and they all will evolve. And I'm sure you will also evolve as a true environmentalist over the time. Thanks a lot, Anand. And it was extremely privileged to have you here. And I have been after you for more than a year. So finally, I get you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And
Thanks,
also, my message to Suresh sir kind of people in Bangalore.
Thanks, Anand. Looking
We are
forward to
well
connecting with you
educated,
some other time.
who is concerned
Right.
about nature ecosystem. Better to organize one event for such people where we can have a mutual understanding. What I am doing, what they are thinking. We can go together and we can do the wonders.
Absolutely. Bangalore is city of lakes, and I will look forward to Anand to do organize some things. And there are many events like this, and definitely we should walk the talk along sometime again together. Look forward to it. Thanks a lot, all of
Thank
you,
you.
all the participants who have been supporting and encouraging us to continue these water conversations. Thanks a lot. Please take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.